Coming up, a deadly shooting shakes up the community. And later, the Halloween Carnival gets more inclusive.
Changes made at quarterback, I'll tell you more in sports. Our cooler temperatures ahead after a scorching weekend, I'll tell you more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning edition of DITV News. Don't go anywhere, DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in live to DITV and KRUI 89.7 FM. I'm Johnny Valtman. A shooting took place Saturday night between Van Buren and College Street around 2 a.m. The event happened at the H Bar in downtown Iowa City. According to police, multiple shots were fired in the alley. They arrived to an adult male shot on the scene. He later died in the hospital. Police say it was an isolated incident. Law enforcement are still searching for the perpetrator at this time. Iowa City area Crime Stoppers offered $1,000 to anyone with important information. A new exhibit in the Iowa Public Library has brought students to experience the past 55 years of the International Writing Program at the University of Iowa. Curated by Lisa Gardner and Natasha Odervicheva, a hub, a network, and archive is home to many historic items. In the exhibit, you'll find event flyers dating back to 1988 and an old typewriter once used by poet Paul Engel. The exhibit's organizer, Sarah Peakman, said, quote, "Each exhibit is so different and each curator's style is different. So coordinating exhibits is always fun venture. Pieces of these stories are woven into the narrative of the exhibition." The exhibit will be open to the public through December 16th, and a virtual exhibit will be available online sometime this fall. The Iowa City Parks and Rec Department held an event to make sure all children are able to have a spooky Halloween. DITV News reporter David Consuelos was on the scene.
The Halloween season is a time of the year where children get to dress up in their favorite costumes and participate in many spooky activities. However, the Parks and Recreation Department here in Iowa City hosted a special event for neurodivergent children who may benefit from a low-sensory, low-stimulation environment. The sensory-friendly Halloween Carnival took place this past Friday at the Robert A. Lee Recreation Center. The Iowa City Parks and Rec Department held the event an hour before their annual Halloween Carnival. The sensory-friendly event featured more calm and low-stimulation activities, such as ring toss, trick-or-treating, and wand making.
We think it's really important to make sure that we're reaching all of the community and that we're involving everyone and meeting them at their ability level. So we wanted to make sure we had an environment that was safe and welcoming for everybody. But we offer lots of different programs for people with disabilities, ranging from sports to crafts.
Well, some kids don't feel very comfortable around a bunch of, other screaming children, loud adults, whatever. I was one of those kids. I didn't like loud noises. So giving them a chance to come and enjoy something like that with all the same, functions, the slides, the toys, the games, while not making them deal with all the stuff that they find really unpleasant is, it's not much more work and it's a nice thing to do for them.
From the sensory-friendly Halloween Carnival at Robert A. Lee Recreation Center, David Consuelos, DITV News.
Christina Bohannon made a stop at the Iowa Memorial Union on Wednesday night as part of her campaign for governor. The event was put on by the University Democrats in the Big Ten Theater. Bohannon previously served as the District 85 representative from 2020 to 22. She is also a teacher at the University School of Law, where she's taught for 22 years.
Every single day is working with young people and teaching young people. That is the part of the job that brings me the most joy.
Several other Democratic hopefuls for various positions were present in the theater. Bohannon spoke about the importance of voting, climate change, reproductive rights, along with relating to the college students. Bohannon encouraged all attendees to vote for what is important to them and how every vote matters. Reagan, after a hot weekend, can we expect some cooler temperatures?
Well, Johnny, this week will be cooler compared to the scorcher we had this weekend. Right now, the temperature is 65 degrees and the high will reach 72 degrees. You're going to want to grab an umbrella on the way out the door as we can expect steady rain throughout the day. Temperatures drop back down to a windy 55 degrees tomorrow. The sun will make its way back to Iowa City on Wednesday with a high of 60 degrees. Temperatures will stay mostly steady for the rest of the week, with highs in the low 60s and high 50s with partly cloudy skies. Hurricane Rosalind made landfall in west central Mexico on Sunday as a Category 3 storm. Nearly 100,000 people are left without power and at least 2 people have died. Tropical storm conditions will continue until this morning. So Vivian, I heard that the Hawkeyes had a long trip home from Columbus. Could you tell us more?
They sure did. Reagan, the Hawkeyes traveled to Columbus, Ohio to take on the second-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes, and it was hard to watch from the very start. DITV sports reporter Max von Grease traveled to Columbus and has to say more on the Hawkeyes' horrific weekend.
After coming out of their bye week, the Iowa Hawkeyes traveled to Columbus, Ohio to take on the second-ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. With a struggling offense that has no true identity, the Hawkeyes knew that there would be no room for error playing against an offense that's this explosive. With that being said, the Iowa offense got the ball first, and on the first play of the game, quarterback Spencer Petras threw an interception. Luckily, the Hawkeye defense would hold the Buckeyes to only 3 points and then score the following Ohio State possession, as defensive lineman Joe Evans would score off of a perfect strip sack. The Hawkeye defense would be the story of the first half, as they forced Ohio State to kick multiple field goals, holding the Buckeyes to only 19 points.
To keep them short of the end zone, that was a positive, certainly. I thought they really competed well and did a lot of good things all the way through the game, just on the field too long, and the hill got a little bit high to climb.
Following halftime, the quarterback switch that Hawkeye fans have been begging for all season long finally happened, as Alex Padilla was inserted into the game for the struggling Spencer Petras. But again, the Hawkeye offense would shoot themselves in the foot, as Alex Padilla would fumble his first snap in at quarterback. Both Padilla and Petras would finish the game with no touchdowns and a combined 3 interceptions in an offense that just continues to struggle. Frustration and disappointment would continue, as the Hawkeyes would be outscored 51-3 for the remainder of the game and eventually lose 54-10.
And they got 4 really outstanding receivers. They had 1 rejoined today, and 2 outstanding running backs, and just one person's opinion. I think their offensive line's playing at a very high level too. So, and the quarterback's an outstanding player. So it's a tough team to defense against. And
luckily for the Hawkeyes, they can look forward to next weekend, as it is their homecoming and they face Northwestern, who has only won 1 game all season. But if these Hawkeyes want to go to a bowl game, Kirk Ferentz and Brian Ferentz are going to need to see improvements day by day. From State Flight Stadium in Columbus, Ohio, Max von Grease, DITV Sports.
And Iowa field hockey continued their losing streak yesterday in Evanston, Illinois, in a non-conference rematch against the Michigan Wolverines. This loss drops the Hawks to 10-6 on the season and gives them their 3rd consecutive loss. Iowa has failed to score a single goal in their last 3 games. The bright side to the game, however, was senior goalkeeper Grace McGuire. She had 11 saves on the day, which ties her career high. The Hawks returned to Grant Field on Friday for their last regular season game and senior day. And the Iowa women's soccer team played their final game of the season yesterday against number 24 Penn State. The trend this season has been ties and continued all the way to the end. Penn State's Allie Schiegel and put Nittany Lions up by 1 in the first half. But it was Caroline O'Helan for the Hawks who tied it with their 4th goal of the season early in the second. Iowa ended their
in the second half. I just asked them if they had anything left, and whatever they had left, I wanted them to give it to each other and to go out swing and go out with an investment that replicated our season.
Iowa ended their 2022 campaign 5, 6, and 7 overall and took 9th place in the Big Ten Conference. Come back on Wednesday for more of your favorite Hawkeye sports. Back to you, Johnny.
Thanks, Vivian. Familiar faces return as Jodie Whittaker's time as the Doctor come to a close. Yesterday, Power of the Doctor, Jodie Whittaker's final episode aired. The show featured her regeneration into the 14th Doctor. Following this, the BBC released a preview of season 14 of Doctor Who, featuring the return of David Tennant as the 10th Doctor and Catherine Tate as Donna Noble. Fans rejoiced at the return of the favorites. Thank you for tuning in to DITV News and listening to KRUI 89.7 FM. Be sure to head over to thedailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday. And check out more of our content on the Daily Iowan YouTube page or dailyiowan.com/DITV. For DITV News, I'm Johnny Valtman. Have a great day.